Well, I hear the train a-comin', it's rollin' round the bend. Well, I ain't seen the sunshine since I don't know when. Well, I'm stuck in Folsom Prison, it's been a long, long road. And when I hear the whistle blowing, I lay my head down and cry. No, this is not Johnny Cash. This is Simeon Ambergy with PraiseTracks.com. And today is going to be a really special live stream. And we're going to have a special guest in just a moment. But I am just so glad to be able to be here with you again. It has been a very exciting past couple of days. We've had lots of libraries and lots of fun. And I'm so glad to see everybody here today. So we're going to talk about indigenous instruments. And what started me on this journey was IK Multimedia came out with an expansion for Sample Tank 4, and which they call the Resonator. And that's what I'm playing the Resonator, but the Kontakt version. But the Resonator for Sample Tank 4 is actually what got me just so... just grabbed me. It just grabbed my attention, and it was so playable, and it sounded so wonderful, and I wanted to find out more about the company that was behind it. And more than that, I wanted to find out about the man and the developer behind the instrument. And so that's what we're going to do today. We're going to talk to Tracy Collins from Indigenous Software, Indigenous Sounds, Indigenous libraries, the whole thing. So let's say hi to Terry, and we're just going to have fun today. This is Terry Collins, and I want to welcome you to PraiseTracks.com and the live stream. How's it going?
Great, Simeon. Thanks for having me on.
Well, it's a pleasure. Well, let's just get right into it. I mean, Indigenous has been around for quite a while, and can you kind of give me a brief history of how what got this all started for you?
Certainly. Well, it was. I had been a studio musician and a composer. I've done some television work, and I would do sessions both in a studio I worked at and also out of my own home studio. But right after the 9/11 attack happened, everything dried up. The session work dried up, and we were kind of broke.
Oh wow!
And,
that was a game changer. It's almost like, when those types of events happen, it turns things upside down. Almost, yeah. So we're kind of living in a similar situation here, but yeah. So that was kind of like a catalyst for you.
Right, and it was. I had done sampling because I'd done it for the work I'd been doing. I worked in a studio and I learned how to do the sampling, and I thought, well, I could maybe try to do a commercial library. Now, in those days, there was no downloading. It was all CD-ROMs and hardware samplers. But I borrowed 3 guitars from friends, and I borrowed some microphones. I borrowed a mixing board, and I borrowed a Pro Tools interface. It was actually a Digidesign, I guess.
Wow.
And recorded it, and we started selling these little CD-ROMs. My wife and I we would just burn a CD, for the younger ones, this is what would go into a hardware sampler.
So
Print the little
so it's
CD.
just a guitar library.
Yeah, this was just for. I mean, it's actually we still have it for sale. And if you look inside, if you look inside the download, if you happen to order this, which this is an old library, uh, the Akai instruments are still in there.
Wow. So this was for like what Akai sampler was this one for?
This was done on a Akai S2000,
Okay.
and we would have to actually just package them up and send them by mail.
Wow.
It was a couple of years before the download thing started happening, and Kontakt was becoming more popular. And as soon as we moved to that, it kind of exploded.
Now let's just think about the CD-ROM for a moment. Is just like, what were the memory restrictions that you had to work with back then?
Right. Yeah. 32 megabytes for an instrument. Yes, you had 32. The whole thing had to fit into 32 megabytes. That was it.
Yeah. And that was the entire amount of memory for the whole sampler.
I don't remember what.
But now we're talking gigabytes.
I actually remember what the memory is in that. But I think I had when I moved up to an S5000, I had, I don't know, maybe 128 megabytes. Yeah, but it was you had to be concise. You had to get all the sound you wanted and pick your notes very carefully.
Yeah.
You just had to be very good, and you had to loop them. So if a note started, the attack would happen like on a guitar note, and it would go for about 3 seconds or less. Then you had to loop that sustain, because you couldn't sit there and wait 15 seconds for a note to go through. You had to loop them very tightly.
Right. That's amazing.
You could fit them into that small memory.
Right. So I knew I liked you when you pulled out your lightsaber. I said we might have a little. Yeah, I knew we were like kindred spirits when you That's just a lot of fun. Hey Donald, good to see you, and Matthew. And listen, guys, if you while you're on the chat, if you've got any questions, just make sure that you jump right in. We're talking to Tracy Collins from Indigenous. Now, it's just Indigenous, because I was like Indigenous audio, Indigenous samples.
Yeah, there's not really I just call it Indigenous. I think on Facebook it's Indigenous Instruments.
Okay.
And I think I registered that name under that. So yeah, I think that's the official name.
Yeah, and what is the meaning behind that particular word that you came up with?
No one else was using that word, which was the first thing.
Yeah.
Well, I thought Indigenous American instruments. That's kind of what not Native American, obviously, but just folk instruments and things like that are American, or just, I guess, just folk instruments in general was kind of my thought process on that.
Yeah.
But the wrong spelling, of course, of Indigenous, the word that's constantly brought to my attention. But it works, and there was the name was available at the time. So
yeah, and it's good in a way, because you don't get the confusion with Indigenous people groups. You're mainly focusing on Indigenous instruments from our history, American music history, that kind of thing. So okay, great. Well, what we're going to go through a few of your libraries, and we're going to just kind of take a listen and play through some of these. I just have so much fun when we're looking at these. And so the first one, of course, is going to be the resonator. And the resonator, to me, it seems like it's kind of like a hybrid instrument of sorts. It's not necessarily all acoustic. Well, I guess it is all acoustic, but it's like it's got like this steel guitar thing to it as well. So. Yeah. So this is your latest. Well, not your latest. This is like the one before the latest, I guess, the predecessor. But this sound is what really captured my attention. And the interface, I think you've done a great job, and you guys will see when we go through these different instruments how this interface is just, once you learn one, you're going to really be happy that you're not going to have to relearn something each time. But the way it's set up, you've got all these different articulations here, and then the low velocities, you can choose an articulation on the left, and then on the, well, okay, the low is on the right. Yeah, the low is over here, and then the high velocities are on my left as I'm looking at it. So, and it just makes it very playable. Yeah, and then you can slap that. Yeah, that just oozes with the character. And you've got all of these different key switches too that you can switch in and out of the, if I can find them here. Okay, that triggers the harmony. There we go. Yeah. So you can go either by velocity or by the manual key switches. Yeah. So that's great. So you have different guys that you use for these instruments that specialize in, just like you had a guy that specialized in this type of playing, I guess.
No, most of the, I think the only two libraries I used, another musician, were the fiddle, the latest one.
Oh, wow.
Right.
So this is you.
That's me, right?
Oh, man.
And also a percussion library, Brio. I used a percussionist for that because he would know how to hit the congas better than I would.
Yeah.
But for the stringed instruments, no. Actually, I play them. Actually have a little rig where I will lay it these days, something like the Resonator.
Yeah.
I just lay it and have the microphones up on top, and then I just kind of play it almost like you play it on your lap.
That is great.
I just learned how to well, I watched a lot of videos.
Yeah.
Dobro players or steel guitar players or fiddlers or whatever it is that we're working on.
And see that to me, that uncovers even more of what I'm hearing and feeling when I'm playing these, because I'm just a firm believer that sample libraries are not just composed of data. It's there's a heart that goes into these things, and I think that's a huge part of why I connect with this, because you've poured your heart into these instruments. Man, yeah, that explains a lot now. That's great.
Yes, I mean, I think that, and the way you play, you have serious chops, and that's great picking that you're doing. I like the intro you did, but you have to have, I believe, when you're sampling, and especially when you're playing sampled instruments, you have to respect the instrument. You have to respect people that actually play the instrument. You have to get in their head. I've joked around that, I don't joke around, I actually do this. When I'm playing bro or fiddle, I kind of imagine them, I picture them in my mind.
Yeah.
If you're doing a violin section, you can kind of see the section in your mind, how they're bending into the notes and adding vibrato. I think it helps me. But I'm odd, so it might just be me.
Well, no, I mean that's me as well. And I think for every especially keyboard guys, like, I have a tendency to put all 10 fingers on the keyboard at times. And when you're playing a guitar or a violin or other instruments, you can't do that. And so
Right.
Sometimes I have to tie fingers back or whatever, or you have to restrict yourself. But yeah, I just suggest anybody can experience live music if you're ever can go to an orchestral concert. One of the coolest things was when we got to go see Star Wars with the orchestra. So they had the movie screen above the stage, and the orchestra was playing, so you could see the orchestra, what they were doing in relationship to what was going on screen. And man, so yeah, I'm 100% on board with that. Anytime you can watch live musicians, you have to put yourself in that mindset, like you said. That's fantastic. Okay, let's just play a little bit more with the resonator before we move on. You've got a chord mode, which is kind of cool. And I'm just kind of, so you've got, so you've got a master key, and so this is set to G. So these are going to be up and down strokes like the red keys. And why me Lord, what did I ever done? And you can kind of strum it like that. That's great. Yeah, and that's so much fun because you're strumming, that you sample the strumming like you would really strum it, yeah.
The strums are actually created from individual notes, so it's happening real time.
Okay, so you can actually, and you can do custom chords.
You can change you can make any chord you want, really.
Oh wow. Okay, and I'll have to dive in. Yeah. Okay, so you can save and load chord sets. That's great. So yeah, so we'll dig into that. I've got to see. I love things so much that I just dive right in, and then later you got to go and just crack the manual open. Okay, one of the fun libraries that you had mentioned this in one of our conversations was the solid state Symphony.
Oh yeah,
and I think this is a lot of fun. Matthew, I agree. It's just incredible the sound that he's getting from these instruments, and we're gonna just do some more. So let's see. So we've got some snapshots for this. Let's just I'm just going to choose main theme. Give me some background on this project here. What brought this about?
This was after acoustic guitar collection, the first library. I didn't have any other instruments to sample, I thought, except for I had some synthesizers. And I wanted to do an orchestral library, but I didn't have an orchestra or any way of hiring one. So I'd always been, I thought I was pretty good at emulating orchestral instruments with analog synthesizers. So I thought it'd just be a nice project to try it. And for instance, like the string sound, it's not just a string patch on a synthesizer. It's not just, I made a patch and here's that patch.
Right.
I actually created the main string sound. I've made a single violin. Okay, and I had to, over the keyboard, every third octave, I think, I would tweak the sound and try to make a fake solo violin, and which sounds like a fake solo violin.
Yeah.
But I did it 4 times, and then I kind of did it 8 times. So then I put all these sounds together. So it's like an 8 oscillator.
Oh wow.
Analog synthesizer.
Okay, let's just see what happens with this. And I like the display because it's dynamic with how so when you lay into the keyboard, you get the whole thing, the percussion and everything. Yeah, so you did this with analog synthesizers.
Right.
And the velocity controls how much of the orchestra gets in there. And let me drop down something else. There was something really cool. Okay, Chords of the Schreier. I kind of was playing with that. It's like Lord of the Rings type of thing. So you've got the chords mapped out. So we got major chords, minor chords. Okay, so we've got strings here and horns here. it's just got a really cool sound, really cool sound to it. Let's see. Okay, this is the.
That's my favorite library. It's always been my pet project, and I'm going to be diving into it again, I think, here soon.
Oh, that sounds cool. So, criminal element. Okay. Now that's fun. My goodness. Yeah, so you've got a lot of stuff going on with that.
I think that my favorite use for it is just writing. In other words, you can just, if you're doing something thematic, orchestral, just kind of with a main orchestra patch, you can just kind of lay out, rough out a theme with chords.
Yeah.
Then you can just add, regular orchestra on top of that. And sometimes I'll leave the original solid state in. Sometimes I'll take it out.
Yeah.
And also, if you have an orchestral arrangement going on, and you just play some chords behind that, it just thickens it up a lot.
Exactly. Because that's what I was looking at the other day was the analog sound in a lot of these virtual synths, and mixing those in with the sample orchestra libraries, and what that does, exactly what you said. It thickens it up. It brings something else into it. That's so cool. So that's a nice pad, and this is like. I see the glockenspiel light up when I'm up here. Man, yeah, that's fun. And when I first started playing with this, it reminded me of the Princess Bride music. I think,
Right.
Yeah, it's kind of like it gave me that same kind of vibe. Which is a lot of fun. Okay, let's see. Go ahead.
Another thing about this is, I was hired by Sonic Scores to work on Amadeus Symphonic Orchestra, which is a lower priced orchestra for, it's like $150, I think, is what it retails for.
Yeah.
But there's a version of that patch, only with a real orchestra in Amadeus.
Oh, wow.
I kind of talked them into it. I said, I think it'd be cool if we did this and have so you can actually get the solid state symphony kind of interface, but with actual orchestral sounds.
Oh, wow. That's fun because it just like very visual. I mean, I'm a very visual person, so when I see that display light up, it kind of just inspires me, So this is in world. That's great. Yeah. That's loads of fun. Okay. Yeah. So
there's also a little bit of the old Tomita kind of thing going on. That was also part of the original idea of it, was to get, and I think there's one, I can't remember what the preset is called.
I've got Titania.
Oh, I can see it on your display there.
Yeah. Missed voices.
Outer rim. Okay, if you hit outer rim,
Okay.
and that kind of remember the old Cosmos score?
Oh, wow. Oh, listen to that. We are entering a new world. A brave new world. Without limitations. Wow. See what you do.
That was very good.
Yeah. Do not adjust your Kontakt streaming library. Everything will be fine. Yeah. Okay, so we come in. This is what's so crazy. So we come in talking about acoustic instruments, and then we dive right through the wormhole, and we're doing all this crazy stuff. That's so
the oddball
cool.
library there.
That's what?
The oddball library in our.
It's fantastic, though. I mean, and the synth textures are just so rich. Those pads are so beautiful and rich. Okay, so where are we going to go now? Okay, let's go to the steel. Let's go to the steel, because that's kind of another fun. Yeah. And see, here again, you've got the really cool interface that makes it so easy. And when you hear that character, you can't help but play, Yeah, and that velocity just makes that glide. And you've got all of the key switches down here. So the low velocity's kicking those harmonics. That is so cool. So what's your take on this? So this is like a lap steel guitar, right? It's not like the pedal steel.
Right. Although there's not, and okay, I probably shouldn't say this, but for most, if someone is they're working on a song, or whether it's a background scoring, or it's a song that they're working on, that the sound is the sound. Whether it's coming from pedal steel, and although I know there will be plenty of people that argue against this, but if you're looking for that sound, it doesn't make a lot of difference between a lap steel or a pedal steel.
Yeah, because I'm feeling it here. And having that playability, it makes it so cool. And what is so fun is that we've got some really cool snapshots. Yeah. Okay, so I'm trying to figure out. Okay. Yeah, so you slide down like a major seventh. Oh, that's cool. So you can slide. Okay, wow. So that's really cool. So you slide down a minor seventh or major sevenths, or
it just depends on the scale note hitting on the one octave down there is going to be up minor seconds, major seconds, minor thirds, on up the scale.
Wow.
Octave, and then up and down. I can't remember which way they are.
Yeah, that is great.
I like about this is it. For instance, like the preset, I think it's called "Cryin'," which is just a straight country.
Oh yeah.
But it's nothing but a legato patch.
Oh, I'm in the wrong key. Let me go into A flat. And see, that's what I think is cool. You've got this dial here, and you can just... Oh, yeah. Oh, my goodness. Well, I saw her standing there beside the doorway. You know? The great thing, they said if they made a discovery, if you play a country music record backwards, you'll get your truck back, your wife will come back, and the dog will come back. Oh my goodness. And again, you know, I guess I'm a big fanboy, I guess, because I mean, just like what you said, it's just right out of the gate, it just plays. It just plays. So Braun House Media asked, how much for the entire Indigenous bundle? Is that a thing?
The bundle, yeah, would just be put them all in your cart and see how much it is. We don't really have bundles because we try to keep the prices low, which was one of the founding tenets, I guess, of Indigenous was. I could not afford. There was a guitar library back in the old CD-ROM days that I couldn't afford. And it was a Hans Zimmer guitars. It was called Hans Zimmer guitars.
Spectrasonics? Was it Spectrasonics? I think
it may have been.
Yeah,
it may have. And I could not afford that. And so when I came out with that first library, it was $60. Because I thought, well, there's going to be other people like me that can't afford, all that hundreds of dollars on something.
right.
And so that's been that's the reason that we keep the prices low. And so therefore we don't discount. We'll have a discounted price for an introductory of a new product, but after that, that's the price. It just stays there.
Yeah. Okay. And the only other additional thing, I guess, that they all currently run in the full version of Kontakt. You do have to have yes. You have to make that investment, and then I guess until this is we're doing this on September 28th, so until the end of September, you can still get the full version of Kontakt for half price. And that includes upgrades. So you can get a free Kontakt instrument. I think Embertone has a free Kontakt library instrument, and you can do the upgrade for 50% off. And I'm telling you, the full version of Kontakt opens up so many doors. It opens the door to these libraries with Indigenous. So, yes. And I think, it's just like, if you're into this, Kontakt is definitely one of the investments that you're eventually going to need to make, because there is just so much content out there that's compatible with it. It is just like the platform, so to speak, and that's yes. what makes it accessible. So once you bite the bullet on the full version of Kontakt, wait for Black Friday or these kind of things, because it's the best time to do it. But yeah, because the reason is Kontakt really charges developers quite a lot to include it in the free player. So that's
Yeah, it can be an ordeal to. It's a good format.
Yeah,
and to have a player compatible library is a great thing, which we haven't done it yet. I've actually worked on 2 player libraries for other companies.
Oh wow!
Quite a process of getting things NKS compatible.
Right.
That I'm actually in the throes of it for another company again right now.
Wow.
But for Indigenous, we may go that route. I keep playing around with it, but we just haven't done it yet. But we'll have to raise the price. And see, that's the thing.
Yeah.
it would have to go, all the instruments would go up to around the $100 range to pay for the licensing.
Right.
Right now, if it's $59, it's just going to have to go up.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's what I don't want to do. But
Right.
the trade-off is having to have the full version of Kontakt.
Right.
Well,
Okay.
I have a sampler actually over here on this rack that cost me $1,500. By the time I think it was almost $2,000, but I added all the things and the old Akai 5000.
Oh yeah.
So that was quite an investment to get into. So it's a lot less expensive these days.
Wow. Yeah, it is. I mean, when you're thinking about, only having like 32 megabytes or 128 megabytes to work with, and now we're talking about 200 gigabytes for some libraries, or I mean, I actually have these terabyte SSDs, and they're just like, I just see them just filling up so quickly because it's just crazy how
Right.
much memory and storage. So let me see. Let's just see if we got Ohm Home. Incredibly grateful. The prices are fair and they're gems. Okay, so someone. And while we're here, let's go ahead and take a look. Let's go ahead and take a look at the fiddle, because that is the latest. That is the latest instrument that you have. And Rod just is asking, how much longer is the intro going to be on the fiddle, or is it just, it's not set in stone quite yet?
No, it's going to be October 31st. I think is the last day of it.
Okay.
And I'll maybe say one thing. I didn't mean to be flippant when you were asking about discounts, because I understand that people, because I was in that boat.
Oh yeah.
You spend a lot of money on these things. I don't mean to be flippant about it. But I'm sure you have done this too, Simeon. You buy something, and 2 weeks later, it's you see it half price,
Yeah.
or 80% off. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
And I don't like that. I don't like that feeling when you paid full price and then someone else's. So that's why we don't really discount. Plus, there's just not that much, obviously, room to discount when the prices are.
Yeah. You've
just
created a philosophy that just makes it just makes it easy. You don't have to think about all the fine print at the bottom, and you can be confident that it's the marketing and the price manipulation that sometimes leaves a really negative thing in with the user. And I think you are going musician and user first. And I think that's why so many people love your company and love your libraries, because you respect the musician, and because you put yourself where we are. We're all in this. We are all in this together, and I appreciate that. Yeah, and and you value what you do, and I think that's the other thing. It's the disposability of technology. Well, but I just downloaded this. It's just a bunch of code. Well, no, the code represents somebody's life that they've poured in hours and hours and months and years. Somebody said, well, how long did it take you to get to where you are? And I said, well, do you have about 50 years to spend? So
Right.
it's your life. It's your and that's got to be worth something, or at least you've got to really really believe it is. So it's great. Yeah, your comments, the pricing, that's just that. I think it's just honest and fair. It's great.
And there's the practical for us. One of the practical things is that our sales are fairly constant. I mean, there are
Yeah.
ebb and flow, but I know I've talked to other developers where they have 50% off sales twice a year, and what happens is the customers will wait.
Yeah.
They'll wait
Oh yeah.
for
Exactly.
the sale to happen. So you don't have to, with Indigenous, you don't have to wait. It's always the same price.
Right. Yeah. On the forums, it's so funny because it's like, when are you going to go on? When is this going to go on sale? And it's just like, it's going to, and you don't know. So like what you said, Rod, thank you so much for that super chat. We appreciate that. It's just great. So thanks guys for the support. And so let's take a look at the fiddle. And so you did not play this one.
I'm not that good. No. No, this was a friend of mine who's the go-to guy for fiddle, and actually he plays pedal steel and
Oh, cool.
banjo. It's one of those guys that makes you mad because he can just pick up a stick and make sound with it. But
That's so cool.
it's very good.
Yeah. Now, see, I'm doing those little trills, but you've got those in key switches that that is just. Let's see if you got to find it. Yeah. That portamento is. Wow. Wow.
And I would just like to shout out to for my friend Brian Goodpaster, who was the artist on this.
Oh man, that name sounds really familiar.
He's played with a lot of well-known, been on stage with them anyway, and played with them. And he was just anyone that's ever subjected someone to being sampled.
Yeah.
Trying to collect their soul into a digital form and make it so other people can play, and it can be grueling. And he has a good sport and would do the same note over and over again.
Oh, gee.
To do something like this, and every in between note where you're sliding from one note to another, or bow change, to make legatos, you have to make all of these.
You've got to record all of those in between notes.
Right.
Wow. Wow.
But he was a trooper, and he did a very good job. And I'm thankful that he was able to do it.
That's great. Yeah. Well, Jeffrey, good to see you, and Tony D. Yeah, it's so funny. Yeah, because this is like I'm doing the. The articulations are there, but it's just like I find myself going, just throwing it in there. And Home, good to see you, and thank you guys. Wrench, fiddle me this or fiddle me that. Well, there's no mystery to it. It's just beautiful, and I love that you putting the harmonies. Now, see, I'm in A flat, but yeah, just putting those harmonies in there and just those little extra touches. Yeah. So the low velocity triggers that portamento.
Yes. But you can't. I think I do have a key switch on there. I think it's D2 maybe. Yeah, where you can when you're playing legato, you can have the portamento at any velocity.
Oh, okay. Let's see.
You have to turn the legato back on.
Okay. Okay, let's see. Do that. Oh.
Yeah, if you hit the key switch, it shuts the legato off.
Okay, let's see. Okay, I'm not finding the.
I think
D2 is staccato.
Oh no, D3. I'm sorry.
G3.
D3.
D3. Oh, here we go. Yeah, so every note. I was listening to Charlie Daniels earlier today, but it was just like, I'm not going there.
No,
Just
believe me, one of the test sequences was, Devil Went Down to Georgia, of course, because I was testing.
oh gee.
I was going to post it on a forum, but not sure how far you can.
Man, it's just got this beautiful that, and the harmony just opens that up. It just makes it sound so beautiful and mysterious. And then you've got some repetitions. So we use like a little step sequencer type of thing, and that's kind of
Right.
fun. So you're just really chugging it. You can just really chug it if you want to. Yeah. So that's the fiddle, and that's currently $59. Is that correct?
Right. Right.
Okay.
It'll go up to 69. Will be the regular price.
Yeah, and man, that's
Yeah,
just
I'm not going to go. Okay, but it's still lunch. Okay, it's still.
it
lunch.
is. Yeah. It's
It's
a
$10.
couple of gallons of gas, and yeah, that's fabulous.
But again, if you price something one way and then suddenly it's twice as much as that, okay, how much is it worth?
Exactly.
So
Exactly. It
that's
just
the way when I'm buying something. If I go into a store, that's the way I think. But
yeah. It's just like, well, if it was $1,000 and then the next day it's 50, it's like, oh yeah. So
right,
you feel like, well, you won't get me the next time. You're not going to get me the next time.
it's like
Okay.
shopping at Kohl's, where which is the real price.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that could be a whole game show in itself. And it's like make it look like the picture. So let's see what we've got here. Okay. So let's just look at. I want to look at I just want to kind of get an overview of just some of the character of what you have, like the. Oh wow! Now this kind of filled in there. Okay, yeah. So this is your electric guitar. Oh, let's see. I love having the articulations under my fingers like that. It just lets you express it. See, I hear Credence. I hear a lot of like a little Credence, Clearwater. And then you've got some. Let me pull up a couple of the snapshots because you've got a really cool effects rack. Okay, Schottenfinger, you're now downloading the fiddle, and yeah, you're gonna love it. And the thing is, it's not just for country music. Even though you can use it for that, you can because the way that they recorded it is a beautiful solo violin on its own. Which
one
is
of the questions on one of the forums was, can you do something else besides bluegrass or country? And
yeah.
they challenged me to come up with a like a Celtic thing, which I did post one. So and another interesting thing, and I don't know what it is. Brenda, my wife, was noticing this, but a lot of Japanese people are buying it.
Wow.
Much more than any of our other libraries, but for some reason, a lot of Japanese folks are buying it.
Wow.
So I'm actually trying to figure out what. I've kind of looked around at Japanese music to try to figure out what the connection is and why they're attracted to it. But I
think it's just the tone. It's the tone of it, and then the engine, the playability of it. Okay, so Marshall Banana says, do you currently work with any online retailers? And if you do, or do you plan to in the future if you don't already? So do you work with online retailers, or is it just strictly in-house with Indigenous?
Everything's just available at our site. The
Okay.
only other the only exception is IK Multimedia with the sample tank version of the Resonator,
Yeah.
which was our way of trying to make it available to folks that didn't have the full version of Kontakt. And it was just a way of getting the Resonator without having to have Kontakt.
Yeah.
It's very close. I mean, I have the same demo. I think it's called Under the Live Oak. You can hear versions on their website of it and mine, and they're almost identical. So
Wow.
worked very hard to make it so that you weren't missing anything from either version.
Wow. Yeah, I mean it just absolutely just blew me away. I love it. Do you see yourself doing more of those for Sample Tank?
I think we may work on some libraries for Sample Tank, not necessarily porting over more indigenous ones,
Yeah.
but working with them on some new libraries.
Well, that'll be great. That'll be great. Okay. So yeah, so only indigenous in-house, and you're going to be taken care of, and it's going to be good. Okay, let's just take a.
You do see it available somewhere else, just please send us an email.
Oh yes, yes.
Get my guys on it.
Yeah, yeah. Because listen, man, it's a wild west out there. So this is the clean. And I just pull up Dreamtime, and you've got really cool effects here. And see, here I go again, piano fingers. There's not a D flat there. But it's just so clean. Let's do a little bit of overdrive. Okay, smoking. Let's see, smoking.
There is a patch for that one. That smoking is actually it's supposed to be like a Bostonish, a little bit like that. I'm trying to think of the song was smoking. Yeah, it was
Okay.
That sound, right?
Okay. Yeah. See, okay. So let's see. What do we got? Where is the Smoke on the Water one?
Smoky, there, right there. You're almost right. Smoky H2O.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. So now, okay. Oh yeah. Yeah. I can hear the difference in the tone. Yeah, it's got that. Okay, and you got some patterns there. That's so crazy. Let's see. Okay, like
there was one called Chicken Pickin', which I think was right around that same area.
Chicken Pickin'. Oh yeah.
That's going to get.
Yeah, that's cool. Let me see, GPJ. Let's see. Let's see if we can. It was asking something about the klezmer thing, and I'm just seeing. I'm just see if I can do something real quick with that with the fiddle. But yeah, the generation thing, man. That's just just is crazy. It's a little klezmer blues, I guess, a little mix of it. you can do it. You can do klezmer on that. You can do it.
Try to keep try to make the legato fast. Okay, because what good is legato if you feel like you're dragging a suitcase through an airport as you're playing?
Yeah.
Like, if you have all that delay. So it really tried hard to get the legato to be very fast and very responsive.
So I noticed that you do have some settings.
Yes.
That you can tweak that legato a little bit more, but as well as the portamento speed. I think, but I think out of the box, it just sounds so cool. Oh yeah, yeah. That low velocity, just bringing that in there, yeah, it's just, it's gorgeous.
You can also adjust that. You can have it, as long as that vibrato button is on, there's a little knob on the right-hand side of the lower right there, which I'm trying to remember which one is which.
Oh, okay, yeah, like the legato velocity split.
It gives you the split, also a vibrato. So you can have vibrato all the way down if you pull that down to 0.
Yeah. And then you can do that velocity split too. Yeah. Yeah. That's so cool. Okay. So let's go to, I think, one of my very favorite things that I've played, and that is the Renegade acoustic. And something about this just, I mean, I don't know, it just really, and I've got to adjust my velocities because this SL88 is so soft, and it's just got such a wide dynamic range. I mean, that is just like, okay, let's see. Okay, now I don't know. Let's see what we're gonna do here, because this is what I've been thinking about most of the afternoon. Let's see. Yeah. When you're down and trouble and you need some loving care, and nothing is going right, you just close your eyes and think of me to brighten up even your darkest night. You just call out my name and you'll know wherever I am, I'll come running, yeah, to see you again. Winter, spring, summer, or fall, all you've got to do is call, and I'll be there, yes I will. You've got a friend. You see what I'm talking about? And then you turn this harmony on, and it just takes it to another level. And make sure I'm in the right key, A flat. Now listen to what this does. Okay, it won't do that. Okay, it wasn't doing it with that, but But
Yeah,
it's the key, it's the complex, those chords. And then you've got the 12 string that just opens it up. Now, I will tell you what this does work for, and this was another fun thing I found myself doing. Now, my friend, the time has come to raise the roof and have some fun. Throw away the work to be done. Let the music play on, play on, play on, play on, play on. And then this will work with these keys, with this now. We're going to party, Curago, fiesta, forever. Come on and sing along. Once you get started, you can't sit down. Yeah. Once you get started, it's so hard to stop.
So you have no idea how good it makes me feel when someone understands what the instrument, and they pick up on it, and it works. It does my heart good.
I love it. I love it. See, yeah. So the mutes. So these mutes are what. Yeah. Let me bring this up a little bit more. And it's right here. You pull. You just grab that interface thing. And let me just drop this down. I just, yeah, I could just play this all day, and it just makes it so fun. So fun. And then the 12 string thing just fattens this up so much. And let's see, you've even got, yeah, you've even got some snapshots with this. Yeah. Yeah, I just think it's so cool. Fingerpick Dreamy. Yeah, listen to that. And you've got the effects here. Yeah, so we've got a little bit of delay and EQ. Oh, okay. So, and you've got two different styles. Now, is this a real fingerpick and picks? Are they two distinct?
Right, they're two different sample sets.
Okay. Yeah, so this is the finger pick. And I love that because it's soft. It's got that. It's just the responsiveness because I get the feedback from the instrument, and then it just is like a cycle. It just kind of builds on itself. So when I'm hearing something, it makes me want to play something. It makes me want to play something different. It influences how you play. And if it doesn't inspire you to play, then it's just like, yeah, but this just pulls you right in. Man, beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. So let's just check in with everybody. And thank you guys so much for sticking around. And Debbie Ambergy is gonna get into trouble because she's messing with me here with the seagulls. If Rockin', rockin' and rollin'. Down to the beach I'm strolling. But the seagulls popped in my head, not fun. The seagulls, stop it now. Oh, 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 oh. Yes. That's for you, Debbie. You made me do that. Everyone told me not to go on that beach. Said seagulls gonna come, crack you in the coconut. Oh, I hate these birds. Yeah, I gotta stop. Get your lightsaber out quick. Make him stop. Make him stop. But that's perfect for that. I didn't even plan on doing that, but that harmonic dance with those delays.
That particular sound is. I had a version of that even back with this guy, the original.
Yeah.
Because I used to do for a friend of mine, Mark Emery, and myself. We did for 20 seasons of a fishing show. It started off on Nashville Network, and then it went on for 20 seasons in different networks. But that's another reason Indigenous exists, because we just needed sounds and we couldn't afford to buy them. And at first, there really were none. So we needed guitar sounds, we needed all these things. And so we'd make the sounds and we'd use them. And most of them were tested, on that battlefield of getting up at 6 o'clock in the morning, knowing we had to have a score by the end of the day given to the editor. So that's how a lot of this started. Was just to make something simple, quick, that you could understand quickly and get the job done.
Yeah, that's great. That is so great. So that's what. We're going fishing today, folks. We're gonna just get us some crappie or some bass or something. But it's a lot of fun. A lot of fun.
I have seen more bass being caught than I think any other human being besides a fisherman has. I always had to put a little, put some flourish on the strike when they actually.
Yeah. Wow, that is so cool.
It usually involves a suspended cymbal swish.
Oh yeah.
And tremolo strings, which works well for that.
That's great. That is so cool. Yeah, this is just wonderful. Well, Tracy, I just know I know I speak on behalf of everybody that you are just you are a gem, and I'm so glad that the RESONATOR kind of brought us together. It's just been such a wonderful journey, and I'm telling you, I just. I see. You said that you had a whirly. You said most studios always have to have a whirly.
Yes, there's one back there because all the big guys have a Wurlitzer. You see a video, you see a whirly back there, Wurlitzer electric piano in the background.
Yeah.
So yeah, got one. So I got that.
And is it sampled? Did you say?
Yeah, I have our worst selling library of all, which is Whirly Studio. You can buy that. It's only $49.
Okay, but that's your work.
You know what? I like it, and one interesting thing about it is it's got a little mixer on it, and I recorded it several ways at the same time. One, just a direct out of the output. Another one, I had I think an SM57 on one speaker, and another one is stereo speakers at playing position. So you're actually getting the sound. Which is my favorite, which you actually get the sound of that piano, the experience of sitting there and playing it, which I don't think anyone else has that. I mean,
wow. So you sampled the actual built-in speakers on the Whirly.
Right.
Wow.
So you can actually hear a little bit of the wood, of the key noise and everything.
Wow.
That's my favorite part of it.
Yeah, and the thing about the Whirly is that even when it wasn't plugged into an amp, you still could hear sound coming out of it. It just really dull. This really dull sound. Okay, so, man. Well, guys, if you've got after the live stream's over and you still have some questions about the libraries, all the links are going to be down in the description below. If you've got questions, please put them in the comments below. And we'll, I'll pass it along to Tracy, and we're just going to have a lot of fun playing with these instruments. And and looking forward to just a continued success for you and your company, because you're making a big difference in a lot of musicians' lives, and it is just so appreciated. So I just want to thank you for coming on today, and I hope all of you enjoyed watching. And so Tracy, what do you see in the future for you right now? Like what's coming
What's coming?
that
You
you
know what?
can that you can
All right,
talk about?
actually, all right.
Uh-oh.
I think. Well, oh, there it is. It's in this bag.
Oh my goodness. Oh,
So I'm not sure, but I think that might be the. It's something a little different.
now hold the case up a little bit. Is that a rounded bottom on case in there? Is that
It
what
could
I'm?
be. It could be
Okay, okay,
that, right?
okay. Ah, man.
And actually planning a possibly um, documenting the process of doing this library.
Oh, that'd be
Just
great.
for fun. It's something that's not going to be a big seller, because it's not a guitar or a fiddle or something like that. But I think it'd be interesting, and I think, well, you never know. It's hard to tell what sells and what doesn't,
Yeah.
honestly.
Wow.
But I think it'll be fun, and we'll see.
Well, we can't wait. I can't wait for that.
Thank you for having me on.
Well, it's my pleasure, Tracy. And winter, spring, summer, or fall, all you've got to do is call, and I'll be there. 'Cause you've got a friend. That's what I love about music and instruments, is because it brings people together. I mean, who would have thought a sample library could bring somebody together? And that's what we've done here today. And it's just the beautiful power of music and friendship. And I'm just so appreciated. And I can't wait to talk to you next time. So thanks for being here with us. Oh yeah, Paul says it looks like a banjo. That's kind of like what I thought, or
that's probably in the horizon somewhere too. I'm not sure.
Keep a lookout. Okay.
The fiddle was the most requested one, and banjo has been the second most requested. So that might be coming up soon.
Okay. All right. Well, Tracy, we'll say goodbye, and hope to see you real soon on another something. We've got to do some more. All right. Well, thanks guys for tuning in to this special time with Tracy Collins. I'm telling you. So please like and subscribe and do all those things. And we so appreciate all the support. And we'll see you next time. And this is Simeon from PraiseTracks.com saying, see you soon. Winter, spring, summer, or fall, all you got to do is call, and I'll be there. Yes, I will. You've got a friend. You've got a friend. You've got a friend.